Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. Well, I'm always amazed at how many places we can find in the Bible that it is prophesied Jesus will use Mary's rosary to crush the head of the serpent. And I'm even more amazed when I find new places. And I did just this week when someone commented on my video about Mary's rosary being found in Bible prophecy. Except that my commenter wanted to refute what I was saying. So he used a passage from St. Paul. And in fact, just the opposite occurred because St. Paul is actually verifying what I've been saying all along. Now here's what Jabberwocky wrote. He said, "Mr. Tapley, it seems you are incorrect on your first reference. ESV says he will crush Satan." Now ESV is the English Standard Version translation of the Bible, and it is basically derived from the King James Version. He will crush Satan, referring to Christ, not Mary or Eve. Cross-reference Romans 16:20. Well, this is very interesting. Let's look at what St. Paul writes. "The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet." Well, at first glance, that does appear to contradict what I have been saying about Genesis 3:15. And that is that the woman will crush Satan under her feet. Let's take a closer look at Genesis 3:15. And for that purpose, I have come up with a pictogram. I will put enmity between you, that would be the serpent, and I have shown here a Baphomet to express Satan, and the woman. And the woman can only be Mary. It cannot be Eve. Eve does not crush Satan. And in fact, Jesus often refers to Mary with her title, the woman. And your seed, that is the seed of Satan, and her seed. So there are two enmities discussed in Genesis 3:15. The first is between the serpent, symbolizing Satan in Mary, and the seed of the serpent and the seed of Mary. But who crushes the head of the serpent? Is it Mary who crushes the head of the serpent? Or is it the seed of Mary who crushes the head of the serpent? As you can see in Genesis 3:15, it must be she will crush the head of the serpent, because that is where the struggle is depicted, not between the seed and the serpent. So now let's go back and look again at what St. Paul says. "The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet." Well, that's interesting. I've never said that Jesus will pray the rosary, but you must pray the rosary. And that is what your feet is symbolizing here. How many toes do you have? You have 10 toes. And those 10 toes symbolize the Hail Marys in one decade of the rosary. Notice the physical contact is always between Mary and her rosary and Satan or the Antichrist. In this case, your feet will crush Satan. In the Old Testament, this is prefigured in the battle of David versus Goliath. He chooses 5 smooth pebbles, and those 5 smooth pebbles, as I have said many times on this program, symbolize Mary's rosary, because there are 5 decades in one complete mystery. And please notice that the pebble is embedded in Goliath's forehead. In other words, she will crush the head of the serpent. So in conclusion, Jabberwocky, I'm not saying you are really incorrect in saying that Jesus will defeat the Antichrist. It's just that it is extremely important for us to realize that we will be involved, because the physical contact is between Mary's rosary and the Antichrist. And please Don't wait until you are on the battlefield to learn how to use your weapon. No soldier wants to confront the enemy unprepared. You need to learn how to pray rosaries now, before the Antichrist takes over, and he will very soon rule the world. And one final reminder, if you would like to help support my ministry, please visit my new website, thirdeaglemedia.com. And while you are there, please don't forget to download all 5 last chapters of Daniel, where I have unsealed his prophecy. Don't forget, you cannot understand Daniel as he is printed in your Bibles, because the prophecies are sealed up. You must unseal those prophecies. And in order to do that, you must download the chapters as found on my new website, thirdeaglemedia.com.